sensational piece of play.
He's going to get mowed down, surely. Look at that! Reaches out and bangs it down. And hello everybody and welcome to a beautiful day here in Korea at the Namdong Asiad Stadium in Korea for the men's Olympic qualifiers. 9 teams, 2 days. One of these sides will have automatic qualification to Tokyo 2020. 2019 has already been an interesting road so far for Asian rugby. The Japanese and Chinese women's rugby sevens teams are both comfortably through to next August's Tokyo Olympic Games. Japan enters through an automatic bid as hosts, and China enters after romping through the qualifier they hosted in Guangzhou 2 weeks earlier. The Asia Rugby men's qualifier now moves to Incheon, South Korea. The Japanese men are also through as hosts, leaving perennial Asia number 2 Hong Kong in the driver's seat. The reigning Asian Games champions finished a solid second in the recently concluded Asia Rugby 7 series and are clearly up to the task. But Korea has been in camp for 5 solid weeks and is on home turf, where they tend to perform particularly well. Jekyll and Hyde Sri Lanka is more than capable when the chips fall its way. And China has proven very dangerous under the tutelage of Australian coach Chris Lane. 5 wins guarantee qualification in a format that includes quarters, semis and a final match on a very busy day 2. There we have it. So 9 teams here this weekend. The Olympic dream is well and truly alive for the men here. And 3 pools of 3 is the format for the weekend, which makes it a little bit odd finding out who will the 8 quarterfinalists be at the end of the day. Those teams finishing 8th and 9th positions after pool play today will have to play an additional playoff match to decide who will take the 8th spot. Standing by for our opening match then, it's going to be unknown quantity Afghanistan versus the home side South Korea. And it's a little bit chilly here. It's about 8 degrees this morning, but the sun is up. There's only a few clouds in the sky as we get ready for Korea versus Afghanistan. Bit of dew on the field this morning, and the hosts will be confident here against Afghanistan. Korean side, a few players coming back into the fray, skippered by Park Wan-young in number 4, but some big name players there. Jang Song-min in 9 and Jong Yeon-sik in number 1. And they've got plenty of pace. Lee Song-bae in 5 as always. And looking at the Afghanistanis there, it's not a typo. Look at all those slow man kills there. There's 5 of them, 4 brothers and 1 cousin making up the squad. And they are the real perennial travellers of world rugby. It's great having them here. We've not seen them on the series, but they did play in the Asian Sevens Trophy in 2019 in August, taking 7th spot. So they're no slouches. The Slow-Mankill brothers crafting their trade down in Australia. They've played rugby through the grades in New Zealand as well. They know a thing or two about rugby, union and league. My name's Grant Buseveld, and joining me today on his own Olympic dream, Jed Thine.
Well, it's just as well the Olympic dream's got a flame that goes with it, because the team training at 5:30 this morning. Very, very warm. Wondered to behold one of the sides outside opposite the hotel on the pavement, running waves, getting ready for today. Inspiring stuff already here at the Olympic qualifier.
So thanks for joining us from around the world. Great having you with us, of course, whether you're from Afghanistan, South Korea, or any other of the 7 competing teams, or just an independent bystander, observer. Here's our referee from Hong Kong, Morgan White. It's A strange little format today. We'll have 3 pool games followed by an hour-and-a-half break. 3 pool games, hour-and-a-half break.
Korea.
3 more pool games, hour-and-a-half break. And then finally the 8th and 9th will play each other late in the afternoon to decide who goes through to the quarter. So one team will be done at the end of today. Afghanistan get us underway. What have they brought to this party? The Koreans, an early mistake. There's going to be some dew on the ball down there. It's very wet on the field. And good bit of defence coming straight in, a high shot, and maybe some hometown jitters, Jed.
Yeah, possibly, but I think what we must remember is that men representing Afghanistan today have got experience in playing contact sport, there's no doubt about it.
Both sides stay back.
A group of guys have come from the Grammar First 15 in Auckland.
Crouch.
And we've got some
Bind.
rugby league players
Set.
here, so they're not shy of putting on a shot. And if we haven't seen much of them, I'd say Korea has seen even less.
Here we go then. Here's Omar, slow man kill, taking on the tackle of Park Wan-young, the skipper, and a loose pass over the top. And just to recap as well on the Asia Rugby 7 Series 2019, Korea wound up 5th on the table after 3 legs.
Your marks here.
But perhaps most telling, the 3rd and final leg, they came dead last, finishing 8th, losing to Chinese Taipei in the wooden spoon match. So they'll have a lot of ground to make up from where they finished the 7 Series. Here's an early chance. We know they've got blistering pace. Good fend coming in. Let's have a look now at this Afghanistan defensive line. They're having a lot of time together. They landed only a day or 2 ago. They've had no such thing as a camp. Koreans have been in camp for 5 weeks. Getting in the road there is slow man kill. He's done well there to slow momentum. They've given the penalty away.
Well, Afghanistan are going to stiffen the Koreans up if they want to run at them. There's no problem with Afghanistan's defensive line, and I think Korea will find that out.
Jang Jong-min with a bit of footwork there, gives it back to Chang Yong-hung, and he's going to get on the outside. I suspect that's where they're going to have the advantage. Out and out pace and perhaps just conditioning and fitness, and it's a first try for the weekend. Chang Yong-hung has dotted down. Good patient work from them, and they do have a new technical coach and advisor with them, Charlie Lowe, the South African born coach, a Korea Sevens coach, 30 years in the game. And how good, how telling will that be on this Korean side? We know they've got the talent, they just need a little bit more sevens nous, and we saw a little bit of it there, Jed.
Well, some nice work from Korea. Opening try. That'll be settling the nerves a little bit for the home side. They do come in with a bit of pressure. I mean, the expectation for Korea to do well here is evident for all to see. And obviously, they're hosting the tournament. They wanted to host it, and they're pretty desperate to get to Japan.
Let's go, please.
It's a good kick out. Look at the pitch down there. It's an absolutely fantastic condition. Here we go. Omar, slow man kill. Gives it to his bigger brother. And that's great work over the ball. They tap and go quick through Lee Song Bae. He puts the kick in. I don't know if that was the right option. They had a couple of Afghanistan players on the floor. There he is, Lee Song Bae. Halfway through this first half. I'd like to see Afghanistan with the ball a bit. Nice and crisp down there. So yeah, slow man kill right over the top. That's gutsy, and they pulled it off. Out the back door. Look at the big fend from Sabir, slow man kill. Looks like they love a bit of the contact indeed. Again, Korea trying to get over the top of that one. Sabir, slow man kill. They straighten up through Sayya. He gets off the ground, goes again, gets it battered out of his hands. It's like a cake of soap. And it'll take a little while for the sun to burn through that layer of dew on the pitch. And it'll be another scrum here, an attacking scrum to the Koreans. Just right on the 22, straight in front of the posts.
Touch. Bind. Set.
And it goes from Park Wan-young. We haven't seen much of Park on the series. He's been drafted in. They've managed to draw in a couple of additional players that we've not seen on the series. So players like Lee Jai Bok omitted. Most of these guys are 7s and 15s players. And straight through with a bit of footwork. It's the big man, Jang Song-min. Well, just keep your eyes on this fella. We've watched him closely over 4 or 5 years. One of the true big names of Korean rugby. He's gone off the boil now and then, but let's hope for Korea's sake he can find some form and get the ball in his hands and watch him here, Jed.
Well, he's a handful, all right. In any country, anywhere around the world, on any rugby pitch, he would be someone that's going to draw on 2 defenders. Sunny day, all right, isn't it? Lovely to be sitting on the right side of the stand.
Well, he's been hooked for his efforts. They put Jang back in cotton wool.
That's the old school reward in 7s, isn't it? Score a try, get a rest.
Maybe a good tactic there, just drilling it low and skidding it across the slippery surface. Good tackle coming in from Park Wan-young. They get him up high and that attracts 5 Korean defenders. Sniffing a chance here for a turnover. Afghanistan pile. We've got a rolling maul on here. Finally it gets to ground, but I think Koreans have dispossessed them. Good upper body strength from the Koreans. It's out the back door and they lose 20 metres. There's no sweeper. That's good vision from the Koreans. Looking for a good bounce here. Good footwork. There's a shoulder to shoulder. Oh, brilliant coming back. Yeah, good play from both sides there. There's Omar Slow-Mankle in the end. Has he taken that back though?
Carried back. After half time. Sideline is at half time.
Bit of a conflab between the officials. Omar Slow-Mankle was the man getting back there, and it was shoulder to shoulder. And instead we'll just go for half time, which seems like the easier option all round, Jed. An interesting half of rugby there. Afghanistan just not able to hold the ball for any phases yet.
And that will be a problem, I think, for Afghanistan, perhaps right across the tournament. I believe they're going to be strong enough defending. We've seen some good contacts early on, and they're not going to be easy going straight at them. But their main challenge is getting their fair amount of possession. I mean, look at that. That's a proper shot. There's one on there. Some terrific work around the outside. There's some lovely footwork there. Koreans do possess a huge change up in gears. Look at this. Terrific pace. Very explosive athletes. And then combined with a bit of size, you get a real monster like this bloke.
Great having you with us around the world on the Facebook feed or wherever else. Coming up next, Philippines, Singapore, then Chinese Taipei, Malaysia. Before our first break, 3 teams coming into the play much later on, afternoon today, local time. We're on Facebook, asia.rugby, of course. Follow us on there for all divisions of Asian rugby. Instagram, Asia Rugby Live. Get on the gram for some great images from the talent on the ground here, and on Twitter at Asia Rugby. Get involved with the conversation and give us your considerations for player of the tournament. Jed and Grant's player of the tournament will be announced tomorrow, an unofficial player of the tournament. Here we go then, Afghanistan tracking backwards, just trying to control the ball. I like the look of this big man. So yeah, Slow-Mankle, he's Very abrasive, gives it to his brother Zakir Slomankel. He's the one that's played professional rugby union and rugby league. Played for the Warriors in the NRL and the Roosters. And played for Cannon in Japan, top league. Here we go then, a couple of phases for Afghanistan. It's business house touch rugby though, waiting for his players to get behind him. Looked like he was going to fire out a bullet there. Have they got any gas out wide? Let's have a look now. Nice ball on the inside, big hit coming in from Jang Jong Min. Over the ball again. It's slow. Look at the counter rucking. The determination there from Big Han Kun Kyu. The big forward does the job for Korea. Afghanistan bustled off that one. Oh, good step off the right from Kim Hyun-soo. Ball inside to Chang Yong-hung. Afghanistan nearly get him turned though. Kim Hyun-soo fires it away, and now just getting the ball out front. Big wide passes again. The chip and chase from Jang Jong-min. We know he's got electrifying pace. And the ball just sitting there waiting for someone to dot it down. Abdul Bari Ghazan gets his hand on it, and he's taken a bit of a clip on the way through, but he saved a 5-pointer there for sure. Have a look.
Oh, it's great work from the custodian. Look at him. Oh! Oh, the old trailing foot to the nut. Oh well. As they say in the trade, rubbin's racing.
So they've temporarily kept the scoreboard at bay in the second half. He's an interesting character, Zakir Slomankel. We've had a chat with him last night. Played his rugby at Auckland Grammar, and he got picked up by the NRL side, the Warriors, out of Auckland. Only played a season there before he headed off to Cannon in Japan. Then he's played at the Roosters. And he's almost the custodian, the skipper of this side. Players of all different abilities, a lot of them flying in from Afghanistan. There's one guy from Sweden.
Here we go.
They're away, down the middle, off to the races, off the footwork. It's the man, Omar Slomankel. There he is, a backyard effort, isn't it, with 4 brothers and 1 cousin in the same side. It's untidy. If they could get one on the board now, it'd make things very interesting. Oh, first card of the weekend from Morgan White. He's having none of that, so a penalty on the 10, up against 6. Here's their chance. This is Omar Slomankel. He's put that nice and low, and he's off target, off distance, and that's a shame. Korea then, you feel like this match is their chance just to dust off the cobwebs from a poor series. Kick off this new campaign with a new coach involved. Here's Andre Coquillard off the bench and onto the field. Struggling to find space, but now they've found it. 6 men against 7. Can they break out? Oh, good footwork from Chang Yong-hung. And inside ball to Kim Hyun-soo. And that's good use of the ball, finding the space. And they go in for try number 3. Outnumbered.
Right, it all comes back to the missed touch from Afghanistan. Thought it was an interesting decision to take on the line and go for the set piece. I can understand why they'd want to do it. And in the end, a 6-man Korea runs around a 7-man Afghanistan for a try.
And they had numbers to burn as well. Chasing hard as Abdul Bari Ghazan. So 3 tries, 2 converted.
Number 8, Andre succeeds a conversion kick and adds 2 points.
It's not the pool of death, Pool C, but we do have Sri Lanka in the pool with Korea and Afghanistan. It's probably the most evenly contested pool. Sri Lanka and Korea, two teams just on the decline a little over recent seasons in Asian rugby. We've got Hong Kong and China in the other pools. It's good to see Malaysia back into the fray, and the Singapore as well. United Arab Emirates drop out from the series due to, one would think, a lack of passport holders. That just wiggles across the 10 metre there. They go quickly. They're still up against 6 players. Big goal on day one for Jed for Afghanistan, probably just to avoid that 9th spot.
Well, they've come here with a huge challenge in front of them. It's all about the dream. I think it's fantastic just having them here.
Indeed. Again, they go over the back. That signature move, Zakir Slaymankel with the ball. And he just takes an extra roll there.
Time off.
And with just one defender there, the Koreans have forced a turnover. A little discussion. It's Andre Kokolad, perhaps the best English speaker of the Korean side, chatting to Omar Slaymankel in his Kiwi accent.
Number 6, Kang Myung-hook is substituted by number 12, Kim Nam-woo.
Kokolad gets us underway then. They are back to 7, so opportunity gone. Straightening Kim Nam-mook. Oh, and a good tackle round the chest. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what I'm talking about.
He looks at the referee.
And bang. Well, word on that's going to get out pretty quick, I think. Watch yourself around these boys.
They are big boys, don't you worry about that. They don't give away any size here. They'll be one of the bigger sides here, in fact. They pile into this. Look how many players are in there. There's 4 Afghanistanis in there. Make that 5 with the scrum half, so there's nothing happening out wide, but Zakir Slaymankel, he's the man. He bursts off. He's got one to beat. Coming across his park. Steps off the right. Defend. He's got support. Goes to ground, though, and maybe just wanted to hold on to that a little longer. Good burst there from Zakir Slaymankel.
Well, there's going to be a lot of play coming off the guy. He's going to have to manage him if they're going to go any further in the tournament. And I mean, by going further, I mean playing tomorrow. Just a bit of a highlight there, though, isn't it? Found some space around the outside and lit them up.
Bind. Set.
Down to 6 players, Afghanistan. Was he carded for that tackle earlier there? Not sure. Kick through is probably a good option when you're up against 7 players. Kokolad goes back, rescues this one on the hooter. And that's going to be it here. So South Korea are underway with their campaign, the host. They've picked up 3 tries. Afghanistan will end up with a big donut, but welcome to the top level of Asia Rugby, Afghanistan. They've gone down here 19 points to 0. And
that's a very, very respectable result from Afghanistan, considering the resources and the talent and the experience Korea have at this level and playing in these conditions. I'm very, very impressed with the first game out of the shed. But congratulations to Korea. You know, the important thing here is not only to score the points, but to come away with a win. And they've done that. But there's a message going out across, I think, all team management. Take these Afghanistan guys lightly and you will end up on your backside.
They played Korea in the 2018 Asian Games.